You do have a gift for gab. I guess that's how you say it. AKA she okay. Hi, welcome back to our channel.
I'm Susie.
And I'm Ness, and this is
Mom and Daughter Talk,
where we hope to inspire, encourage, and uplift your mother-daughter relationships. Welcome to part 2 of Get to Know Us, and we hope that you enjoyed part 1. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check out our Get to Know Us part 1. Now here's part 2. We are actually going to pick some cards from this card game that we have, and it's called the Skin Deep. The cover actually looks like this, and this is the Friends edition. So they have like Self edition, Family edition, co-workers, dating, and so it's just a really fun-filled type of vibe, and that's what we're trying to go for now.
Another thing that I love about this game, not only are you getting to know us, but really games like this help to enforce your relationship with your daughter, mother, or whatever, relationship. But this show's about mothers and daughters. Sometimes we need some kind of aid or whatever to really express some of the things. And it's like playing some of these games, you think, wow, I didn't know that about you.
That's a good point. Yeah. Like, because the cards, some of them are very vulnerable and they have different categories. And so it's like not the typical things you would think to ask somebody, but it's very intimate. We don't have the family edition, so we're playing Friends edition. Absolutely. That's like her saying, you'll see. Okay, so we have a couple cards, so we're just gonna pick from the top. Question number 1. What is your favorite memory of us, and why is it important to you?
Actually, one of the things that's very memorable is when you were off to college and you called me and you asked me some questions about spiritual things. And I remember that was the first time that we had a lengthy conversation about the Lord. I know that sounds kind of strange, in college or what have you, but really it was something different about it. It was very memorable to me because I was in the midst of shopping, but I stopped everything and I was on the phone with you for, I think, like 45 minutes. I knew there was something special about that. And I see in retrospect that it was, because that was the season where I noticed that her relationship with the Lord became hers. That is individual between her and the Lord. That's very memorable to me. And I think I've told you this before, but like literally after we hung up, I like cried in aisle 3 or something like that. Like, pick up on aisle 3, there's tears everywhere.
Oh my gosh. No, I remember that. That was definitely a significant moment. That was my junior year in college.
Okay, so me to you, young lady. If only one of us could be successful, who would you want it to be and why? Good one. I know, good one.
So if only one of us could be successful, I mean, I would want you to be more successful. And I'm not just saying that because it sounds good, but honestly, because you're my mom, so any success that you get, you just gonna outpour
just
it.
Pass it down.
Yeah, it's gonna flow out of that cup and come onto my plate. But I trust you with success.
Ooh.
I trust myself too.
Appreciate that.
But I trust you with success. So I know it won't go to your head and you won't use it for something that you shouldn't be using. And I believe that. And honestly, everyone's definition of success is different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think the definition I would use for your success is succeeding in the calling that you feel God has for you. And I know you have different like dreams and different aspirations. And so I would gear the success towards those.
Wow, good one. Yeah. And because we're connected, obviously, right? She's flesh of my flesh, bone of my bone. She's part of me. So therefore, I think if she shines, I shine. If I shine, she shines. You know what I mean? So
that's how it should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any relationship.
We're a team.
Yeah.
Mother and daughter team.
Yes. Okay. Your question. What do you think I'm learning from you?
I've heard the saying that more is caught than taught. And also that the greatest influence in a daughter's life is her mother, the same-sex parent.
Oh.
Yeah, even more so. I mean, of course, definitely a father has his place of affirmation and things like that in a daughter's life. But to really just to see what's modeled before her from a woman's perspective, what I hope you're learning from me is to have a relationship, a genuine, thriving, loving, growing relationship with the Lord. Having a relationship with the Lord is foundational, because with that comes all the instructions, all the things that can help you navigate through life. And we talked about success, or just really with the help of your creator. So to me, hopefully what you're learning from me is, and I'm continually learning. It's kind of like I'm reaching up to God. I got you over here. And so it's continual. I'm being progressive as well.
Right.
So through that, whether it be the highs or the lows, and by no means am I saying that I'm perfect, but even in my imperfection, with all of us having flaws, that you get to see how I deal with those, even at the lower times as well. And like the scripture says that you would follow me as I follow Christ. And the counterpart of it is true in that if I'm not following Christ, guess what? Don't follow me. Don't follow me. Measure it by the word.
I mean, what you said about a mother's influence is very true. I mean, whatever you see modeled before you, that's like the only real example I have of how a woman should be treated by a man, how a woman should carry herself in these streets.
Okay, so question for you. What is my greatest strength?
Your greatest strength would have to be your words of wisdom. You do have a gift for gab. I guess that's how you say it. AKA okay. Your greatest strength is your words of wisdom. You definitely have a gift for the gab. But it's a lot of wise things. Like I can come to you and really know, like, okay, she's gonna add value to the conversation in some way, shape, or form. Of course, I don't know exactly how. It's a really, really good strength you have. And even seeing how you talk with other people and your friends. And stuff. What's your favorite thing about me? I like that question.
One thing I've always admired about you, even when you were younger, and I've seen it turn into really a level of maturity, is at the end of the day, not really caring what people think. Because let me tell you, the need to please is truly a disease that people deal with. I know when I was your age, definitely had it. And like, I wanted everyone to like me. I had a hard time saying no to people. And that's the one thing that I love getting more mature, is that you really get to center yourself and realize, hey, sometimes the answer is no. And I'm like, I may not need to even give an excuse of why it's no. I just don't want to. But really, you've always had that in you. And I definitely admire that quality. Yeah, I definitely admire that. And again, it goes back to, as far as one of her great qualities, is that that's a quality of a leader as well. Because of course you listen to everybody and you're there to influence and things like that. But at the end of the day, if it's a lot of voices, you have to know how to make the final decision. And if you are so worried about what other people are going to think, or because you know what, in any kind of democracy, somebody's going to disagree, right? So you have to be okay with that disagreement, knowing that for the greater good, you're making this decision autonomous of everyone else's voices in your life.
And it's interesting you say that. Oh, thank you, first of all.
You're welcome.
But I know a lot of people struggle with people pleasing, and a lot of people struggle with it. It's one of like their secret things that they don't want people to know. Oh, once
they don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, right. Trying to please people. I think it's a silent killer.
Ooh,
it's definitely.
Why do you say it's a silent killer? That's good.
Because if you're trying to please people, which you can never please everybody, but if you are trying to please everybody, there's nothing innately in you that's gonna rile you up to be like, let me tell them how I really feel. Let me tell them how like I struggle with pleasing whoever they may be, X, Y, and Z. So I know that that can be like something that people suffer with in silence. And I just want to say, because I've never really struggled with people pleasing, but I definitely can feel how that is like just a suffocating thing to kind of go through. And you feel, you know, stuck in life because you're always going to have disappointments regardless if you're a people pleaser or not. Like I know I have. So when it comes to, you know, people pleasing, just know you are the only one who is the best you. Like you're the best you in this world that this world has ever seen. And being your authentic self is what really propels you into meeting the people who don't even want you to be a people pleaser. They want you to be yourself. They want you to stand up for what you believe in and what you think. And it's all about really getting in that right circle of friends. And I know that's very hard, especially when you're in high school, you're in college, you just graduated and moved to a different city where you know nobody. Like I've been through all that type of stuff, and it is hard. It really is, but you're very capable and you are very able.
I also think about that scripture in Galatians where it says that if you are a man pleaser, you can't be a servant of God. That's pretty That's pretty straight to the point. Yeah.
You
One thing
can't.
for sure. One thing
Yeah.
for sure. God and Jesus, when he was on this earth, was not a people pleaser.
Yeah, there's no way you can serve God
Yeah.
and please people at the
Absolutely.
same time.
Absolutely.
So especially if you're a believer and a Christian, just knowing like that principle, you can't do both.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like pick who you're gonna serve.
Ooh,
Can't serve two
Yeah,
masters.
choose ye this day whom you will serve.
Yeah,
Life or death. He gave us the answer. He said, choose life.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not a multiple choice. It's an open book test. Open
Yeah.
the Bible, you find the answer.
And especially today, there's so many resources on YouTube, on the internet, where you can glean from people and gain wisdom on.
Yeah.
I struggle with people pleasing. How do I
Mm-hmm.
get
A lot
free
of
from that?
resources. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So for the last question, why do you think we get along so well? That's a good one.
It is. I think we get along so well because honestly, it started when I was younger, and I don't know how you did it, but I feel like you definitely set the tone for having an open type of relationship. Because I'm open naturally, but I'm not going to tell my mama everything. I feel like at a young age, you definitely set that tone, and consciously or subconsciously, like that stuck with me, and knowing, you know, I mean, as a child, you test the waters with your parents. How far can I go?
Right.
And in this sense, I was like, well, how much can I tell her without her judging me, without her bashing me or trying to control me or manipulate me? Because that definitely does happen. So I think we get along because I'm able to be more of myself and show you more of my whole self
That's good.
than I think the average person probably would share with their parents. So I think that's just a powerful thing that allows us to be closer and get along well.
Yeah, and what you mentioned about if it was conscious or subconscious that I did that as far as setting the atmosphere for it to be like that, definitely conscious. Definitely conscious. I knew there were certain things where I wanted as far as in my relationship with my daughters. It's transparency and setting an atmosphere that they would feel comfortable in opening up. Because at the end of the day, guess what? They're going to open up to somebody. And I want it to be me and not the girl in the schoolyard. I remember when I was in elementary school, I had a friend. I guess her mom had told her that if a guy touches your breast, you can get pregnant. Oh. And I remember thinking, even then, I was like, I know that's not right.
See, and little things like that.
And she believed it. That was my point. She was sincere. Like, nobody can touch my breast because I will get pregnant and I don't want a child.
But the thing is, if my mom ever told me that, I'm never going to open up to you about anything if I'm ever touched, because then I feel like I did something wrong. Because innately, as a child, you already feel like, oh, I already did something wrong if something happens to me. And I think it's like 1 in 3 or 1 in 5 girls like get molested in some way.
It's actually 1 in 3 before the age of 18 has been molested in one way or another. However, I venture to say that it's more than that. Those are ones that we know about.
Oh yeah, those are the recorded stats.
Yeah, and really even young boys, that's another category that they probably are less likely to come forward. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, tragic.
Well, that was our last question.
Okay.
All right. Well, we hope you enjoyed part 2 of Get to Know Us, and we will be back with another webisode. If you enjoyed, please feel free to like and subscribe and share with any of your friends, your mother, your daughter, or anyone in between.
Absolutely. Have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.